Chapter number 10. Our bazaars. A market is a place where goods and services are bought for a price. Markets have been an integral part of our lives since ancient times. Markets show the interdependence that the members of a society have on one another. In the early stage of the civilization, man's limited needs could be catered to by the members of his society. Thus, a farmer could exchange the grains he produced in his field for the other services like cloth from the weaver and tools from the ironsmith. This system, where needs were met through the exchange of goods and services, was called the barter system. However, the changing times brought an increase in the population and in the needs of humans. Cottage industries produced different goods apart from the traditional agricultural products to meet the needs of the growing population. The barter system thus proved insufficient and the system of money exchange came into being. This system even increased or widened man's access to resources which were produced abroad and previously not within his grasp. Therefore, it can be said that the concept of market also has undergone an essential change over the years. Let us look at the different kinds of markets we visit and understand how they operate. Weekly markets. A weekly market is a temporary open market held on a particular day of the week. Such bazaars or markets are also called haats. In this kind of market, makeshift stalls are set up. Unlike permanent shops, they do not incur a lot of operating costs like rent, electricity, tax, etc. As a result, prices of commodities in a weekly market are also lower. The shop owners generally store the goods at home. Their family members assist them, so they need not hire labor. In these markets, a large number of shops sell similar products, so there is a stiff competition. Therefore, the seller cannot overcharge and the buyer can bargain and get the best possible price. Another important advantage is that in a weekly market, we get a large variety of things like grocery, vegetables, utensils, bags, clothes, ornaments, and furnishings at low prices. There are certain special bazaars also, where goods of the same type are bought and sold in all the shops. For instance, cloth market, grain market, and furniture market. Neighborhood shops. In most large towns and cities, you will come across marketplaces next to residential areas. Grocers, barbers, medicine stores, sweet meat shops, dairies, tailors, vegetables, and fruit sellers. These are both permanent as well as makeshift shops. The permanent shop owners have to pay taxes and rent. The biggest advantage of neighborhood shops is that they are located in close vicinity. As a result, the consumer and the trader know each other. The merchandise sold here are expensive, but the shopper can buy goods on credit. Shopping complexes and malls. In urban areas, we come across a group of shops under one roof, popularly known as shopping complex. Another popular marketplace in urban areas is the mall. A mall is a shopping complex situated in an air-conditioned multi-story building. In these markets, we find a wide variety of branded as well as non-branded goods. The goods sold here are luxurious and costly, as the shops have to spend a lot of money on maintenance. Other markets. With the changing times, the concept of markets has also undergone a remarkable change. Nowadays, we can make purchases even while sitting at home through phone or the internet. We can simply place our orders through the phone or internet and can make payment on delivery or online with credit cards. For example, companies like Flipkart and Snapdeal sell a variety of merchandise online. Besides, there exist special markets which we are not aware of because we do not use them directly. For example, farmers use pesticides, tractors, and many other types of equipment to grow cotton crop. They procure these from special shops located in large towns or cities. How do goods reach these markets? We have just discussed the various types of markets from where we buy goods and services. Now, let us find out from where the shopkeepers get these commodities. It is not possible for a manufacturer to get in touch with all his customers directly. For example, an onion farmer in Nasik cannot reach out to millions of consumers throughout the country. So, he has to take the help of intermediaries like retailers and wholesalers. These intermediaries are traders who connect the producer and consumer. They take care of two very significant hurdles of trade: distance between place of manufacture and consumption, and time gap between creation and use. Besides, intermediaries make goods accessible to customers at reasonable prices as they buy goods in bulk that help in keeping the product prices low. They also provide information about change in taste of consumers and activities of opponent companies in the market. Wholesalers. A wholesaler buys goods in bulk from manufacturers or their agents and sells them to the retailers. Thus, they primarily perform the role of buying, maintaining stock, and supplying goods. Their profit margins are low and they do not provide after-sales service. Wholesalers normally deal in one product or related merchandise and at times even extend credit facilities to retailers. Putting out system is a method of manufacturing wherein the merchants provide raw material to the independent small weavers. The weavers process the raw material and return the finished product to the trader within a stipulated time. This system of manufacturing is widely practiced in different parts of India. This system is advantageous for weavers. Firstly, they do not have to pay for the yarn. Secondly, they do not have to worry about selling the finished product. However, the biggest disadvantage is that the merchants exercise a lot of power as they get to decide what is to be made and pay insufficient amount for the weaver's hard work. Pochampalli Weaving Center. Pochampalli, synonymous with silk saris, is a handloom village in a Nalgonda district, Andhra Pradesh. The Pochampalli variety is also known as tie and dye variety of ikat, weaving randomly dyed yarn in a zigzag pattern. The master weavers of the Pochampalli, who own at least 5 to 8 looms, employ weavers with no loom at very low wages. The master weavers sell the finished product to local traders, commission agents and wholesalers who have links with traders in Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Gujarat, etc. The local traders acquire raw material, that is, silk yarn from Bengaluru. It costs them somewhere between 390 to 500 rupees, depending on the quality of the yarn. The dye that is procured from Hyderabad by retailers costs around rupees 65. Thus, the total cost of preparing a sari comes about rupees 1100 to 1200. However, by the time it reaches the consumer, the price will be 4 times its cost of production. In this chain, except the weavers, all other stakeholders gain from the market. The big traders never reveal the actual demand or price of the product. On the contrary, they convince the poor weavers that the product is hard to sell, so they cannot give higher price for their labor. In India, most farmers practice subsistence farming. Since the size of their land holding is small, still they sell off whatever additional they produce. However, they cannot sell directly to the consumers. This is where the wholesalers and other intermediaries play an important role. Kundan, a small farmer from Gujarat, has grown cotton on 3 acres of land. At the beginning of the cropping season, he had taken a loan of 3,000 rupees at a high rate of interest from the local trader to meet the expenses related to fertilizers, pesticides and agricultural implements. Now that his cotton balls are ready, he picks them and takes them to the nearest mandi or wholesale market to sell his produce. Mandis are agricultural markets where farmers can get the best price for their yield. The prices displayed here are based on existing market trends. At the mandi, Kundan does not sell his yield directly. He takes the services of intermediaries like arhatiyas, commission agents and brokers to sell his cotton. These intermediaries sometimes cheat the poor farmer by quoting a lesser price, suggesting their cotton quality is poor, and by using defective weights and measures. At the trader's yard, the cotton quality is checked and finally a price is fixed. After weighing Kundan's produce, the trader gives him rupees 2,500. Out of this, Kundan has to pay off his loan as well as pay all the intermediaries, so his earning is hardly enough to sustain himself. This cotton is turned into bales by ginning mills. The bales are then purchased by spinning mills that spin them into yarn. Spinning mills then sell the yarn to yarn dealers. The merchant buys yarn from the yarn dealers and gives it to weavers to make things like saris, dress material, shirts and towels. The weavers invest long working hours and hard labor for which they get a meager sum. The trader sells this cloth to garment factories where it is turned into finished products like shirt, suit, trousers and salwar kameez. From the garment factories, it reaches various retail shops and from there, it reaches the consumer. No more. Keeping producers up to date on market conditions is a critical component of wholesaler services. Their assessment and analysis of market conditions are important for producers who are concentrating on market development and strategies for growth.